Mary Kay, football is an emotional sport, and certainly you can, when you're a family like we are, you can have your disagreements. Sometimes
The play calling was horrible, and the special teams just didn't come out to play. It was not on Shedeur Sanders.
I called out to him because on my podcast, Cut to It, I just talked about guys that maybe have not showed up in a way.
Browns fans are absolutely losing it right now. Kevin Stefanski seemed to pick Jeudy's side and straight up overlook Shedeur Sanders in that heated moment. And honestly, that's wild because Shedeur has been the one consistent force keeping this offense alive. Fans are saying Stefanski is causing problems instead of fixing them. Let's break down why this snub has everyone seeing red. Stefanski keeps talking about football being emotional and family disagreements, but fans aren't buying that anymore. They see a coach hiding behind the same soft excuses every time things get messy. The reality is simple. The play calling was awful, like really awful. The special teams failed, and none of it was Shedeur's fault. Yet Stefanski acts like everyone should chill while ignoring the real problems. Fans are calling it Kevin sabotage now because it feels like every week he does something that slows Shedeur down instead of helping him shine. They're tired of the excuses, tired of the repetition, and tired of a coach who shields the wrong people while the guy carrying the offense gets blamed. And then there's Jeudy, the guy leading the league in drop passes, somehow trying to challenge Shedeur like he's done anything this season. Fans are furious because they see it for what it is, pure jealousy. Fans think Jeudy couldn't handle the spotlight moving away from him, so he tried to make Shedeur look clueless. They keep calling him out because they feel he turned on his own teammate just to save his own ego. They see a guy who talks big but vanishes when the ball's in his hands. So when Stefanski publicly sides with Jeudy, fans feel betrayed all over again. Instead of defending the quarterback who's actually producing, he stands behind the receiver who keeps dropping drives and stirring drama. It makes people question the entire team's direction. They feel like Stefanski cares more about managing egos than winning games. And that's why the fan base is boiling over. They see Shedeur staying calm, doing his job, owning his role, while a jealous receiver and a repetitive coach keep dragging the team backwards. Fans believe Shedeur deserves a coach who shields him, not one who lets others tear him down.
This game was all about Shedeur Sanders not owning up to his highest potential because his statistics was identical to Brock Purdy's. The biggest difference was the special teams along with the defense, if we're being honest. But the play calling was horrible, and the special teams just didn't come out to play. It was not on Shedeur.
People seriously need to slow down and stop acting as if his loss falls on Shedeur. His stats were right there with the opposing quarterback, so the idea that he didn't show up is just ridiculous. The real issues were everywhere else. The play calling was a complete mess. The defense kept giving up easy yards, and the special teams looked totally unprepared. Anyone who actually watched the game saw Shedeur doing his job while the rest of the team was falling apart. It's unfair and lazy to point fingers at the one guy who stayed calm, stayed sharp, and kept the offense moving even when everything else collapsed. And honestly, the frustration fans feel is real because they're sick of the same pattern every single week. Shedeur plays great, but the coaching choices and execution from others keep dragging the team down. The playbook looked flat, the timing was off, and there was zero spark from the sidelines. Yet somehow, the blame keeps circling back to Shedeur like he's supposed to cover every mistake on offense, defense, and special teams all at once. The truth is clear. He delivered, and the people around him didn't. If anything, this game proved how strong Shedeur is under pressure and how badly he needs the rest of the team, especially the coaches, to step up and match his level.
Just wondering, did you see that there was a sideline confrontation that happened between Shedeur Sanders and Jeudy? And I know that that's part of football, that those kind of things do happen. But I'm just wondering, what you not only thought of that, but what do you think is kind of going on with Jeudy in this season where it's just not going for him the way that he would have expected, or that I guess you guys would have expected?
Yeah, I think, like you mentioned, Mary Kay, football is an emotional sport, and certainly you can, when you're a family like we are, you can have your disagreements. Sometimes they're for everybody to see. Sometimes it's behind closed doors, but like a family, we move on, we talk about it, so not worried about it.
Stefanski drops the same soft response every single time something serious pops off, and fans are completely over it. Instead of calling out a receiver with a laundry list of drops who's yelling at the quarterback carrying the entire offense, he hides behind that "football is emotional" line like it's a shield. He treats everything like some small family spat when literally everyone can see it's way deeper than that. This wasn't two equal players having a heated moment. This was a struggling receiver snapping at the one guy keeping the team afloat. And Stefanski refusing to call that out screams weakness, not leadership. It's like he's too scared to hold certain players accountable, even when those same players hurt the team more than they help. Meanwhile, Shedeur stays calm, stays respectful, and keeps producing. Yet he gets zero backup from the coach who should be in his corner every single week. So why defend the player stirring drama instead of the quarterback saving your job? Why pretend everything's fine when the tension is obvious to the whole team? Why keep excusing a receiver who can't catch while ignoring the young quarterback showing real maturity? Why do some players get passes every week while Shedeur is left to fend for himself? And why should fans trust the coach who keeps brushing off real issues with the same tired lines? At some point, Stefanski has to stop hiding behind emotions and family talk and start acting like the leader this team actually needs, because Shedeur deserves better than a coach who refuses to stand up for him.
Shedeur raised a point after the game yesterday, just in terms of building time on task with Jerry and building more of a trust level with him. In terms of a young quarterback with receivers, how much of that is practice? And how much is maybe meeting room, watching film? Just what is the process in terms of building that?
Yeah, I think it's all of the above. I think it's definitely being on the same page as an offense, and that comes in meetings and walkthroughs and understanding concepts and what we're trying to do and those type of things. And then time on task on the football field and practice and routes versus air and games. I think all of that adds up.
Stefanski keeps dropping the same canned response every time Jeudy's mistakes come up, and honestly, it's getting straight up embarrassing. He goes on about meetings, walkthroughs, concepts, time on task, like the real problem is Shedeur not working hard enough, when anyone watching knows he's the one grinding every single day. The issue isn't reps in practice. The issue is Jeudy still can't finish plays, still drops critical passes, and still takes out his frustration on the wrong guy. Instead of calling that out, Stefanski hides behind generic coach speak to avoid admitting the receiver isn't holding up his end. Meanwhile, Shedeur is the one trying to build trust, stay professional, and create chemistry. But the coach keeps acting like both sides are equally at fault. They're not. One guy shows up ready every week, the other keeps letting the team down. If Stefanski actually cared about being on the same page, he'd hold Jeudy accountable instead of talking in circles. Fans see it clearly. Shedeur is studying, adjusting, watching film, and syncing with his teammates, while Jeudy gives attitude instead of effort. Stefanski should be asking why his receiver needs constant babysitting while his rookie quarterback is carrying the team like a grown man. Instead, he keeps pointing to more meetings, more walkthroughs, more vague teamwork talk, like repetition alone is going to fix a player who refuses to step up. It's unfair to Shedeur, it's soft on Jeudy, and it paints a picture of a coach who keeps protecting the wrong people. At some point, Stefanski has to stop pretending this is a both sides problem and finally admit that Shedeur deserves teammates and a coach who match his level of commitment.
He was walking by and Steve called out to him, and he got a different reaction.
I called out to him because on my podcast, Cut to It, I just talked about guys that maybe have not showed up in a way or in a manner. And so the word that I've used to describe him in the past was a jag, just a guy.
Just a guy.
When I saw him, he's playing well. I wanted to say to him face to face, like, hey, I know I said some things in the past I probably shouldn't have, and I'm sorry. That's what I wanted to say to him. His response, Mike Robb, was ninja.
Ninja.
Yes, I'm using the word ninja. I'm just using the word ninja. I don't mess with you. And it was a curse word. And so I was like, all right. And then he repeated it. So I'll say it again. I'm sorry that I said you were a jag, just a guy who's an average wide receiver that used a first-round pick on that isn't doing anything. I hope today that you actually show up in a way that you haven't showed up in the last couple of years since they drafted you. So if you ever got a problem with Agent 89, I'm sorry for saying that you're an average wide receiver that they eventually will move on. And when teams call me and asking, should they trade for you, I will say no, don't trade for Jerry Jeudy because he's mentally unable to handle constructive criticism from people who watch specifically, can he be a wide receiver? He could be a wide receiver. He's a tier 3. Go back into the studio. I'm done now. Thank you.
Brett? Yes! 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 I love it. Oh my goodness, the football gods have blessed us, guys. Oh.
Steve Smith said what everyone else has been too polite to say, and he didn't sugarcoat it. Jeudy has been just a guy for years, a first-round pick who never became the player he was supposed to be. Instead of taking real criticism from a legendary receiver trying to give guidance, Jeudy snapped back with attitude and curse words, proving exactly why people say he can't handle pressure. Smith even tried to show him respect face to face, and Jeudy still acted like a kid, thinking confidence can replace consistent production. And the worst part, he does the same thing with Shedeur, quick to talk, slow to deliver. Fans see it all. They see a receiver who won star treatment without the star results, a guy who disappears in clutch moments, yet always has the loudest reaction when someone calls him out. What makes it worse is Stefanski continuing to protect Jeudy like nothing's wrong. How does a coach watch his receiver blow up at a legend, blow up at his own quarterback, and still call it normal emotions? Why won't he ever challenge Jeudy the way he challenges rookies like Shedeur? Why defend a guy who drops more balls than he catches while quietly attacking the QB who keeps the team in games? At what point does Stefanski admit Jeudy is part of the problem, not the solution? And why should fans trust a coach who ignores red flags this big? Stefanski keeps hiding behind family and emotions, but a real leader would hold Jeudy accountable and protect Shedeur, not the other way around. In the end, this situation proves one thing. Stefanski keeps backing the wrong guy, just like he did with Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur is paying the price. Fans see Jeudy's attitude, they see the drops, and they see a coach who refuses to face reality. If you vibing with this breakdown, make sure to hit that subscribe button and smash the like for more.